welcome our audience to Zion Talk Show. Name 310 Show. Today's our topic is reproductive system. I have a special report about animal reproductive system to present to you by Miss Ginny and her friends.
Reproduction is the biological process by which new offspring in individual organisms are produced from their parents. Reproduction is a fundamental feature of our known life. Each individual organism exists as the result of reproduction. Reproductions are broadly grouped into two main types, including sexual and asexual.
Sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction typically requires the involvement of two individuals or gametes, one each from opposite type of sex. Sexual reproduction are broadly grouped into two main types, including external fertilization and internal fertilization. External fertilization. External fertilization is characterized by the release of both sperm and eggs into an external environment. Sperm will fertilize the egg outside of the organism, as seen in spawning. External fertilization usually occurs in aquatic environments where both eggs and sperm are released into the water. Internal fertilization. Internal fertilization is characterized by sperm fertilizing the egg within the female. The three methods include oviparity, ovoviparity, and viviparity. Internal fertilization protects the fertilized egg or embryo from predation and
Asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is a mode of reproduction by which offspring arise from a single parent and inherit the genes of that parent only. It is reproduction which does not involve meiosis or fertilization. A more stringent definition is agamogenesis, which refers to reproduction without the fusion of gametes. Asexual reproduction is the primary form of reproduction for single-cell organisms, such as the archaea, bacteria, and protists. Many plants and fungi reproduce asexually as well, while all prokaryotes reproduce asexually. Mechanisms for lateral genes transfers, such as conjugation, transformation, and transduction, are sometimes likened to sexual reproduction. Binary fission. Binary fission occurs when a cell divides to two parts, and the regeneration of those parts into separate cells. The new cell will look like the original cell in all respects. Can be found in the single cell, such as amoeba, bacteria, and euglena. Parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis is a form of asexual reproduction in which growth and development of embryos occur without fertilization. In animals, parthenogenesis means development of an embryo from an unfertilized egg cell. Parthenogenesis occurs naturally in many plants, some invertebrate animal species. Regeneration. Regeneration is the process of renewal, restoration, and growth that makes genomes, cells, organisms, and ecosystems resilient to natural fluctuation. Regeneration can either be complete where the new tissue is the same as the lost tissue, or incomplete where after the necrotic tissue comes fibrosis. Regeneration occurs in lower animals such as starfish, planalia, and earthworm. Sporulation or spore formation. Sporulation is asexual reproduction by the production and release of spore. Organisms such as fungi create spores that grow directly into new innuendo. Fragmentation or clonal fragmentation. Fragmentation in multicellular or colonial organisms is a form of asexual reproduction or cloning in which an organism is split into fragments. Each of these fragments develop into major, fully grown innuendos that are clones of the original organisms. Fragmentation as a method of reproduction is seen in many organisms, such as filamentous cyanobacteria, moss, lichens, mini plants, and animals like sponges, flatworms, some annelid worms, and sea stars.
Budding was a new organism to the regeneration or growth is coming from outside the cell, then grows as the original cell. It occurs in lower animals such as hydra and yeast. Gem moon formation. Gem moons are internal buds found in sponges that are the result of asexual reproduction and are a response to hostile environments. They are resistant to desiccation, drying out, freezing, and anoxia, lack of oxygen, and can lie around for long periods of time. These are similar to a bacterium's endospore. Gem moons are made up of amoebocytes surrounded by a layer of spicules and can survive conditions that would kill adult sponges. When the environment became less hostile, the gem moon resumes growing.
Let's begin with female reproductive system. What organ in a female reproductive system?
Yes, I will begin with first ovaries. Ovaries produce female sex hormone, estrogen and progesterone. Ovum travel from the ovary to the fallopian tube. Second, fallopian tube or oviduct or uterine tube. Fallopian tube covered with small finger-like projection called membrane. Yes, it is membrane. The membrane wrap over outside of the ovary to carry them for transport to the uterus.
Yes.
Okay.
Next.
Uterus. Uterus is a hollow, muscular, pear-shaped organ located, connected to two fallopian tubes and to the vagina. Vagina is okay. Uterus is also known as the womb, W-O-M-B, womb. Inner lining of the uterus, known as the endometrium, provides support to the embryo during early development. Muscle of uterus contract during childbirth to push fetus through the birth canal.
And next,
cervix. Cervix connect the uterus to the vagina. Cervix dilates to accommodate the passage of the fetus, I don't know. And next, the last, vagina. Vagina connect the cervix of uterus to exterior of the body. Receptacle for penis during sexual intercourse and carries sperm to the uterus. And fallopian tube is also serves as the birth canal. During menstruation, the menstrual flow exits the body via the vagina.
Dear audience, today we have a special guest, Govin, scientist from NASA. Okay.
Welcome.
Here's our special guest, Mr. Gerwin.
Thank you.
From
Nurse.
Nazi. Okay. I have heard about hormonal regulation of female reproductive cycle. What is it?
It's contained in many phases, you know. It's the follicular phase begin with the insert of FSH hormone, with insert of LH hormone and GnRH hormone. And that's very hot hormone. Then there will be a spike in LH and FSH, which cause ovulation, you know.
Oh.
You know what ovulation is?
I don't know.
Really?
Yes, I don't know.
Then estrogen level will continue to rise, follow the ovulation, and corpus luteum forms with secret progesterone in enough level to do it, and which cause LH and FSH to decrease. But without implantation, estrogen, progesterone will fall, and corpus luteum will disappear.
Yeah. Okay. I want to know this follicular phase came from follicle stimulating. But do you know what is follicle stimulating hormone? พูดเลยเนี่ยพูดไปตามนั้นแหละพูดเลย
FSH inducts the proliferation of granulosa cell in the developing follicle and the expression of LH hormone receptor on those cells. Under the influence of FSH, granulosa cell begin endogenous secretion. This increased level of estrogen stimulates production of GnRH hormone, which is the production of LH hormone, which LH inducts androgen synthesis by something cell. Yeah.
And estrogen level is rising in blood. How it rising?
How it rising?
Yes.
I don't know.
Okay, I want to know about estrogen rising. Do you know?
High estrogen levels initiate formation of a new layer of endometrium uterus. Estrogen levels are highest right before the luteinizing hormones surge begins. Under influence of the pre-ovulatory LH surge, the first meiotic division of oocyte is completed. The surge also initiates luteinization of the skull and granule cells. Ovulation is the process in female menstrual cycle by which a menstrual ovarian follicle rupture and discharge an ovum. In the pre-ovulatory phase of menstrual cycle, the ovarian follicle will undergo cumulus expansion, which is stimulated by FSH, is triggered by a spike in the amount of FSH and LH released from the pituitary gland. Luteal phase begins when formation of corpus luteum. The main hormone associated with this stage is progesterone, which is produced by
Hello?
Okay, continue.
growing corpus luteum is significantly higher during luteal phase. Progesterone plays a vital role in making endometrium receptive to facilitation of the vital sites and supportive of the early pregnancy. This also raise women body temperature.
Okay. Basically best good knowledge, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good knowledge.
Thank you for
Yeah.
Mr. A. I will tell you about hormone produced. Hormones is produced by the corpus luteum. Also suppress production of FSH and LH, which leads to its atrophy. The death of the corpus luteum results in falling levels of progesterone and estrogen, which triggers an end of luteal phase.
Alternatively, the loss of the corpus luteum can be prevented by implantation of an embryo. After implantation, human embryos produce human chorionic gonadotropin or HCG. Human chorionic gonadotropin is preserve the corpus luteum because the hormone is unique to the embryo. Most pregnancy tests look for the presence of HCG. Okay, next.
And the next topic is oogenesis. I have a special guest, scientist special. Here is our special guest, Little
Welcome.
He is a specialist about oogenesis. Do you know what is oogenesis? I want to know.
The first meiotic division of the cell also occurs before birth. However, the first meiotic block will be made here, and this process will arrest in the process of meiosis 1 until puberty begins. At puberty, each oocyte enters meiosis again, just before it is ready to be ovulated. Preceding ovulation, a reproductive hormone, gonadotropin, releasing hormone GnRH, is released from hypothalamus of the brain. This stimulates the release of two other reproductive hormones, FSH and LH, from the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland in the brain. The granulosa cells proliferate to form a stick layer. These cells are recruited to the oocyte and form two distinct layers, tisa interna and tisa externa. Estrogen will then start to rise as the stoma-like tisa cells begin to secrete androgens. Estrogen is converted by the granulosa cells into oestradiol to serve two purposes: preparing the female for the possibility of an embryo by thickening the endometrium and thinning cervical muscle. Secondly, estrogen acts on the hypothalamus and pituitary gland to switch off GnRH, FSH, and LH secretion. Thought negative feedback. Meiosis 1 is now complete and we have a secondary oocyte with the first polar body inside a secondary follicle. The polar body will eventually go through atresis and degrade. Meiosis will continue, but again meets a meiotic block, this time at the metaphase 2 state of meiosis 2.
And it is secondary follicle. What is continue?
The secondary follicle will continue to develop and eventually forms a mature ovarian follicle called a tertiary or Grafan follicle. The granulosa cells causes to the oocyte differentiate to form a protective outer layer called the zona pellucida. Layers of follicular cell attach to the zona pellucida to form the corona radiata. The granulosa cells secrete follicular fluid to produce a fluid-filled cavity adjacent to the oocyte called the antrum. More estrogen is released as the tisa has also thickened. The whole follicle will be attached to the ovary by the newly formed cumulus ovorus, a stalk product by the granulosa. Once the mature follicle has developed, the further rise in estrogen leads to a surge in LH, which stimulates ovulation. The oocyte, surrounded by its zona pellucida and granulosa cells, will burst out of the follicle, remaining attached only on a loosening cumulus ovorus to a wall weakened by the hormone surge. The mature oocyte is then ovulated and free to travel towards the uterus, hoping to meet a sperm cell on the way. The cycle now reached the luteus phase, and after follicle will develop into corpus luteum. The remaining granulosa cells from large lutein cells that secrete progesterone and some estrogen will white tisa cell from small lutein cell and secrete progesterone as well as some aromatics and androgen. These ones again lead to negative feedback on GnRH, FSH, LH.
Very excited! I tell you about sperm anatomy. It have yes. It have two factors. You know, two factors. Testosterone inhibiting and the fetal secrete testosterone which direct muscular development of the reproduction system. Then, encompass the secondary sexual characteristics and reproductive maturation become evident, right? And it contact with the enhanced granulosa cell proliferate and differentiate to form an outer layer of the cell, right? And it have a dominant. It have a dominant follicle. Follicle. I should say follicle. Usually grow most of the space in major follicle. It has a little mouth that protrudes into the antrum. Ovulation, but in LH secretion, which will be described later. I will describe at the end. If fertilization do occur, the corpus luteum continues to grow and produce increasing quantity of progesterone and estrogen. ประจำเดือน Now, called the corpus luteum of pregnancy. This ovarian structure persists until pregnancy ends. It provides the hormones essential for maintaining pregnancy until the developing placenta can take over this crucial function. End of a female reproductive system. I will tell you about male reproductive function and objects. It has two functions important. First, production of sperm. All you can help spermatogenesis and second, delivery of sperm to the female. I have special guest, Mr. Hu, Gavin and the Hu, who will tell you about genetic and gonadal sex. Welcome, Mr. Hu.
Thank you, 3 times.
Okay, do you know about genetic and gonadal sex?
Genetic and gonadal sex, of course. Genetic depends on the combination of sex chromosomes at the time of conception. For the first month and a half of gestation, our embryos have the potential to differentiate along either male or female lines because the developing reproductive tissues of both sexes are identical and indifferent. Gonadal specificity appears during the 7th week of intrauterine life, when the indifferent gonadal tissue of agenetic males begins to differentiate into testes under the influence of the sex determining region of the Y chromosome, or SRY.
SRY.
Yeah, the SRY, yes. The single gene responsible for sex determination, TH, its gene triggers a chain of reaction that leads to physical development of a male. SRY masculinizes gonads by coding for production of testis determining factor, or TDF. TDF is also known as SRY protein. Within primitive gonadal cells, TDF directs a series of events that leads to differentiation of the gonads into testes. Next is the phenotypic sex.
What is phenotypic sex?
Phenotypic sex is the apparent anatomic sex of an individual.
Okay, I have known about vasectomy, but I don't know a detail about it. Mr. James, do you know?
I don't know it. Vasectomy. In a vasectomy, a common sterilization produces in males a small segment of each ductus deferens, alias vas deferens. Hence the term vasectomy is surgically removed. The testes perform the dual function of producing sperm and secreting testosterone. About 80% of the testicular mass consists of highly coiled seminiferous tubule, in which spermatogenesis takes place, and endocrine cells that produce testosterone. The radic or interstitial cells lie in the connective tissue, interstitial tissue, between the seminiferous tubule. Thus, the portion of the testes that produce sperm and secrete testosterone are structurally and functionally distinct. Testosterone is a steroid hormone derived from a cholesterol precursor molecule, as are the female sex hormone, estrogen and progesterone. Yes, we say about that before. One produces some of the testosterone is secreted into the blood, where it is transported primarily bound to plasma proteins to its target site of action. A substantial portion of the neurotransmitter testosterone goes into the lumen of the seminiferous tubules, where it plays an important role in sperm production. Effect before birth. Masculinize the reproductive tract. It's very difficult to read. Yes, very difficult. Masculinize the reproductive tract and external genitalia. Promotes descent of the testes into the scrotum. Fourth, effect on sex-specific tissue after birth. Okay, I will talk important topic.
Topic.
And even effect on secondary sexual characteristic. For example, big shoulder. Yes, guy have big shoulder and high deep sound. Oh no, not high, low deep sound. Okay, okay. Next topic is. Hey Knut, what is the next topic?
Oh, little bit easier. Yeah. And the topic is function of the male accessory sex gland. It has 5 components. First, testes. Function is produce sperm and secrete testosterone. Epidermis and ductus different. Serve as sperm exit route. Serve as a site for maturation of the sperm for motility and fertility, and concentrate and store the sperm. Seminal vesicle supply fructose to nourish the ejaculate sperm. Secrete prostaglandins. Prostate gland is a next component. It have to secrete an alkaline fluid that neutralize the acidic vaginal secretion. Bulbotrol gland. Sperm in the vagina during penis withdrawing and secrete mucus for lubrication. To the end of our program. It is very the end. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh dear.